Yeah, so we continue from where we uh, stopped last week on this very important discussion on strategic entrepreneurship and leadership. And from where we started, we appreciated why this discussion is very important because of the statistics that we saw and also the experience. I'm sure beyond statistics, we have all had experiences, either at personal level or people that we know that attempted to engage in a business, but it didn't work out. Maybe the business failed or the business didn't pick as expected. And this opportunity we are here so that this knowledge is of value to us. It helps us, but also we can share it. We can be able to help others so that we can contribute to us turning those numbers around. Yeah, turning those numbers around at the rate at which many businesses are failing. In the strategic leadership masterclass, um, which Susan has been a part of the cohorts, we normally look at the declining lifespan of organizations from 1960s coming all the way, and the trend is that the lifespan is going down. In 60s, early years, the lifespan was quite long, maybe even more than 50 years. Now we are talking about lifespan of 15 years. And these are big organizations, not micros, not the small. They are medium and large organizations. So if that is happening to large organizations, medium organizations, what is happening to the micro, the small organization? The trend could be quite high. And I believe this discussion about I am an entrepreneur, I'm passionate, I want to take risk and explore a certain sector in terms of business, but I also need to balance and build my leadership capability so that I'm able to grow this business into a long-term enterprise. What we are also calling the legacy enterprise. You remember we went through those stages. So we'll be talking about marketing strategy today because, again, when the idea is refined, how do we now communicate that idea out there? How do we structure ourselves? You remember that one of the contributing factors into business failures, it was an element of pricing. And I believe even the element of marketing is a factor that we have to be very intentional about. So before we get into that, let's just go back a little bit to what we covered last week. And I'll also be inviting us. I don't know if you are able to undertake this exercise to come up with your business model canvas for your business. If you did that, we'll want just to maybe get an experience from a few of us. Have you been able to identify your key partners, the key activities, the key resources? Then, what is your value proposition in terms of customer relationships? What is your promise there in terms of the channels and also customer segments? And then cost structure as well as revenue streams. So I'll invite a few of us to share. Either if you have documented it, if not, I'll project this and maybe you can just take us through your business based on what the elements that are presented here. And then we also discussed about value proposition canvas. I've just picked two elements out of what we covered last week. So again, I requested you to reflect on this because this is what helps us to communicate with our stakeholders, with the people that we are targeting. Our value proposition helps us to be very precise and we're able to really connect with the needs of the people that we are targeting or we are helping. So, and I just picked, I'll show, I picked one example of a tax company, value proposition. And you see the gain creators. This company, the gains that they are promising to the customers are streamlined tax preparation processes, saves time and reduces stress. So that's a gain. Yeah, that's a gain. And then confidence in accurate and compliant tax filings. I'm sure Susan relates with this quite well. Knowledge and guidance to stay informed about tax laws. So these are gain creators. As a company or as an enterprise, this is the gains we are creating for our customers. Then what pains are we relieving? Yeah, pre-filled templates and automated calculation reduce time and effort. Yeah, error checking features ensure accurate tax filing. So those are the gains that this company is creating. Then what are the products and services? Tax software with the user-friendly interface and automated templates, integration with accounting software, to seamlessly transfer data, regular updates on tax laws and regulations, and customer support and guidance from tax experts. So that's the products and services. How about on the customer side? The customer gains, time savings through tax form, automation, confidence in accurate and compliant tax filings, access to up to date tax templates and regulations. Then customer jobs, yeah, simplify tax preparation, ensure accurate and compliant tax filings, save time and reduce stress, stay informed about changing tax laws. Customer pains, what pains is this company dealing with? Complex, time consuming tax forms and calculations, and which sometimes could be prone to error. So, fear of making errors, lack of knowledge about tax laws. So, I thought maybe such an example will give us some insights so that as we reflect on our own, at least we can we can be guided from this example. I'll share it on the wall so that we can look at it. Then we concluded by discussing about BPR. Yeah, and we said according to BPR, we always need to think like customers. Always think like a customer. TLC. What does a customer require? And we'll dig a little bit more into this. So speedy service. Do I have options? Give me options. Understand me. Understand my needs. And keep my issues private. Be consistent. They also require simplicity, reliability, and value for money. So, in brief, this is what we covered last week, and I'll just want to pause here and maybe we get to hear from you. You can share on business model canvas, or you can share on value proposition. Yeah. So just relating to a business or relating to a company, just to be able to connect what we learned and what is in practice. So let me invite us, just anybody who may want to share, just feel free. Either if you prepared, that's okay. If you didn't prepare, I'll project. You can just look at the elements and then we can share. And you let me know, would you wish to share from the value proposition perspective or the business canvas perspective? Yeah. I don't know if there is anyone who took some time just to reflect on this. Maybe if not, we can still do it and share next week. That can still also be quite okay. I don't know what you would propose, leader.
I would think we share so that we'll be able to present next week.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
by suggestion.
Yeah, that's quite okay, Mary. That's quite okay. Maybe we can also do a reminder. I think we didn't do a reminder, so we can do a reminder, and we'll also share the templates. I can share a template in Word so that you can just fill the template, and that becomes part of the outputs of this masterclass. Yeah, so it becomes a reference point, and as I indicated, it helps you also to get to the details of your business.
Okay.
Okay. So are we aligned to Mary? We give ourselves some more time, then we can prepare our business model canvas. I'll share the Word version. And then I'll also share the value proposition that I've just shared, the example, so that we can look at this example and then create our value proposition. And then next week we can have a look at it. I think that's quite a clear way forward. Virginia, welcome. Welcome on board. I trust you are well.
Hi, I'm very well. I'm happy to join. And I think I missed that part. If there was an assignment to do, I am sorry I didn't get that part. So you let me know what we need to do so I can work on it. But happy to join today, and hi everyone.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, thank you, Virginia. Good to note you're doing well. So we'll share this, we'll share in Word, and then we'll also at least maybe share a reminder before the next class.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Good. So then we can shift. Let's shift to tonight's session. We may not be very detailed on this section, but it will prompt some further thinking. Yeah, so I'll just want us to maybe pick some key pointers into what are we doing now and what can we improve based on what we are going to learn today. So the marketing strategy still links to the value proposition. Yeah, it links to the value proposition as well. As we're saying, a marketing strategy, it's a business overall plan on how to reach out to prospective customers. Yeah, so and one of the channels on reaching out, on how to reach out, it is through the value proposition. So it describes a value proposition and key target market and what drives customers to use a particular product or service. And if you look at the example that I've shared here, you will see those elements. For example, for this company, the customer's pains are related to complex and time-consuming tax forms, yeah, and calculations which are done manually, and there is a fear of making errors and lack of knowledge on this particular area. So those are the pains that the customers are experiencing. And then what are the customer gains based now on the proposed products and services? Time savings, they'll be able to save time through automated tax filing platform, and then confidence in the accuracy, among other things. And then in terms of gain creators from the company perspective, streamlined tax preparations processes, which saves times and reduces stress. That's what we are offering to the customer. So to be able to deal with those pains. Yeah. So a value proposition is part of our marketing tool, and that aligns very well to the marketing strategy. A business overall plan. What plan do we have for reaching out to prospective customers? Yeah, so a description of the value proposition, the key target market or key target segment of the market, and then what drives customers to use our products or services. Yeah. So there are different types of marketing. Majorly, we'll want to focus on push versus pull marketing. Yeah, pull versus push marketing. So for the push marketing, the goal is to bring products or services to where customers are. So we are pushing the products to them, to the customers. So these are deliberate, aggressive, and proactive than other inbound methods. As I share this, I may want you to think of companies that are more inclined to push and companies that are more inclined to pull based on the description. Then we can just exchange some thoughts around this. Regarding push marketing, preferred by businesses taking advantage of a short time period or trying to generate sales quickly. Yeah, so push marketing. Then pull marketing involves attracting customers. And how is this done? By creating high value products and the services that are suited for target audience. It's also based on the fact that there are already users actively seeking out the products or services. Yeah. So in pushing this a little bit more, in terms of push marketing, the focus is maybe launching a new business, because maybe the business or the products are not well known out there. So we need to push the information, we need to push the product. Then releasing a new product or service, promoting a seasonal product or a service, or even a new product, as we've seen up there, running promotional campaigns, expanding to new niche in the market, targeting to generate cash flow or sales quickly, targeting to clear old stocks. And I think this is also quite common in some in the supermarkets, promoting brand recognition against a dominant competitor, trying to subside a multi-channel strategy. So push marketing is more outbound. Yeah, so we are helping new brands to be able to get some visibilities, but you also look at it lacks a targeted approach and can be more expensive because you are pushing sometimes to many. You don't know who will eventually buy your products or reach out to you. So we're saying it can be more expensive. Then in pull marketing, this focuses on ensuring long-term business growth, and then also to maintain dominance in specific niche, build a return customer base, or improve loyalty. And a number of companies have specialized in this particular area, have tried to create a system of enhancing loyalty so that they pull you buy once, then next time you come back. So it's no longer push, but they are pulling through such kind of a system. Then promote brand recognition, increase social media traffic, as well as sharing, grow traffic to a site, then engage with customers before they know what they want, at the top of their shopping funnel. So pull marketing, it's inbound. So users know what they are looking for. It's targeted and engages the customers. It requires consistent attention. It works best when there is already a brand loyalty. So and we can also be reflecting on ourselves. Where do we find ourselves more into these two types of marketing? So let me allow us just to reflect on this. Let's reflect on this. Could there be an example that we can share that fits the description of the pool or company that seems to fall under this category on push marketing as well as pull marketing? And as we do those, we also be analyzing ourselves. Where are we more inclined? And might be a combination. It might be a combination of two, but we know pull marketing is more sustainable. It's more sustainable. Push marketing, as you can see there, it could generate quick sales, but in terms of sustainability, there could be need to be able to enhance strategies that would make maybe a shift even to the pull marketing. So let me just reflect. Let us just reflect on this before 2 minutes or so, and just open up. Anybody who may want to share reflection, just feel free to share. So we can look at it in terms of an example that comes to mind, and maybe a general comment that you may wish to add to what we have learned so far.
Okay. I would think for the push marketing, I would think of people who go to the villages and roadsides to take their products, and they are sold to customers. Sometimes they go home to home, and what they have is bought. And I tend to think this is like push marketing, that you bring the product to where the customers are. Sometimes I also see in towns, in the evening, you'll find so many people just with very many items to sell, and people buy because they're coming from work, they buy those items. So I would tend to think that is an example of push marketing, taking the goods where the customers are. But pull marketing then for me would mean that I create a business where people will be coming and they'll be attracted to that business. So I will have many customers because I have made the business, at least viable, something that they like, something that is profiting them. And I have thought about, like I'm on the customer side, what will I profit? So I have thought about that. I have got a good business plan, so I'll get customers coming to that business of mine, and it will grow. That's what I would think.
Yeah. Thank you, Mary. I think I like that idea of where we see people bringing the products to the houses. Yeah. And I'm sure with the understanding of push and pull, then some of them can transition. They can bring to us, and then probably based on how they served us, based on the quality of the products, their marketing skills, they can transition from push marketing or push oriented marketing to pull marketing, where we can now maybe start reaching out to them. And I've seen that happening. I've seen people have brought us some products in some of the offices, and then we're able to build that relationship and convert that into a pull marketing. Thank you for that example. Okay, maybe we can take one more. Either an example or a reflection. Where would we place? Okay, yes, Margaret, you can share first.
I see the push market. I see this one. I would imagine in Safaricom. I see a lot of it. I see a lot of it in Safaricom business. Push a lot of new products very aggressively. And Andre even think of, well, sometimes it can be very expensive, but I think they are not really customer sensitive. Take it or leave it, they will still push it. That's how I see it. Too aggressive.
Yeah, thank you, Margaret. What would we say about M-Pesa products? Where we are now? And I'm happy because M-Pesa is also in Tanzania. I don't know if we have, I know Virginia, we have the M-Pesa. I don't know if Rwanda, there is a local one. local M-Pesa, and what would we say about the M-Pesa? Where it is now? Is it more into push or is it into pull?
Yes, so we do have M-Pesa services, but not by Safaricom. It's by people that are doing that business.
Okay.
And now they can't even load their float from here. They need to work with someone in Nairobi. But at the same time, you can see that these business people have identified the need to bring this product to where we are, because we are in need of M-Pesa services, and of course they make a lot of money. So many of them have gotten so much big returns out of this, because as you know, M-Pesa is a profitable business, and here of course they'll make money through the exchange rates, because they'll give you at their rate. To change from a faranga to Kenya shillings, or from dollars to Kenya shillings. And of course, now they also earn from the M-Pesa. I think there is a way they benefit from M-Pesa through the transactions and all that. Yeah, so locally we have one, which is actually very, very good. The local one for me is very good and very favorable for customers, because it's almost at a very small cost to send up to, let's say, around 15,000 Kenya shillings. We only pay about 25 bob.
Wow.
All the way from 0 to 25,000 is 25 bob. And so you can see that I don't know for some reason why M-Pesa is expensive by itself. Sending charges there, because he even to pay bills and to those merchant codes, it's still free. You don't pay anything. So it's really favorable for the consumers, for the customers. Because when you go to a shop, many people already know they need to have the merchant codes. So when you pay to their merchant codes, it's zero transaction fees. And so it means you can even, you don't even carry cash here. We transact in mobile transactions, because they are almost at a zero cost. Yeah, so I would say for me also, to give an example, I think for me, it's the pool. Our business would work very well with the pool, where it's about attracting customers to our services. Yeah, we have the target audiences. And one way that we are doing this pool marketing is by making and leveraging on social media. So like we do a lot of Facebook and Instagram messaging. I mean the sponsoring posts that has some photos or some videos of what we are doing and what makes us different and unique. We also have like a social media page and appearance in different platforms. So that way we're able to pull the customers, and we get a lot of feedback. Others will call, others will come visit. And by that, we are able to create awareness that we exist, and this is what we do. Yeah, and also because as you said, their customers actually, we are looking for the services you offer, but they don't know where they can find them or whether they even exist. So by leveraging on social media, it really, really helps. And we haven't gotten to the point of putting it on, let's say, media, the usual media, the mainstream media. But I have seen many schools also growing so much because they pulled their clients from such advertisements. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Virginia. Yeah, that case of M-Pesa in terms of the tariffs. Yeah, I don't know how the tax framework is in Rwanda. Maybe compared to Kenya, maybe that could be one of the factors. I'm just trying to think when you are sharing about the tariffs. Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting. In as much as we have taxes, I also want to say that the government of Rwanda really has the common mwananchi at heart. Many decisions that are made are actually to favor the common mwananchi, and some of these restrictions are even from the government level. Do you know that even with public transport, like the use of these buses or coasters, because here we don't have Nissans. Here we only have the buses and from the 29-seater and above, the coasters. And do you know that the bus fare is already determined for every route? And do you know that here we don't even use cash to pay for those buses? I don't use it. I haven't used it, but you need a card. I know that to get into, and actually why we haven't used it ourselves is because even when you have the time or the excitement of using a bus, you require to register with your passport to get a card which you swipe. And money is automatically deducted from your card, and now you keep loading your card. It's like there you buy airtime and you can load airtime even from your M-Pesa. That's how people are doing here, and it's a government requirement that no conductor. Actually, here buses don't have conductors because the driver knows for every person coming in that route, the fare is determined. You swipe the card, you get in, and when you reach your destination, the doors are automatic. The driver opens them from where he is, and of course it's very safe, so even at night there is no risk. And so there is that government, I would say some government policies really favor us here, because unlike in Kenya or maybe some of African countries where people even take advantage of the consumers and they actually manipulate them to, like, because it's raining, you have to pay so much and all that kind of a thing. So I think even apart from taxes, because our taxes are almost the same, our VAT is almost the same. But what actually is really, really fair is that the government from the national level, from the top level, they are aware that the charges, so there is no way to take advantage of the consumers. Yeah, so that's just what I wanted to add. And I also wish in Kenya, also maybe at some point, the government policies and all benefit the service providers, but from the top, it's like a food chain from the top to the last person in the chain.
Yeah, and I like that, Virginia, and if we can remain on that example of transport, where do we see it, under pull or push? Because I like the way you have described even the benefits. Is there some attraction, to use the public means? Is there something pulling people towards that kind of?
I think it's both.
Yeah, it's both.
I think it's both because there is also the first part of bringing the push part of bringing this service to where customers are. And making it easy for them, because on the road you find vendors selling those cards and loading it with airtime. You find and now funny thing is, unlike Kenya, where M-Pesa shops are shops that are heavily guarded. Here we call them mobile money, Momo, MTN mobile money. They are all over on the streets. They transact from the streets, from the bus parks, and they have their uniforms, their reflector jackets, so you know who is who. They are very honest, actually. they're not very well managed like the ones in Kenya. You know, like I know in Kenya being an M-Pesa agent is a big thing, but here it's actually something you find on the streets. You just walk out even now, you find someone on the street, they transact for you. So there is that thing of these cards are available to where the customers are in the bus parts. They are also able to load this bus fare to their cards from the streets. And also it's deliberate, it's aggressive, and it's proactive. So it's not something you're not aware of. It's something that they create awareness all over. So consumers are aware of that. So it's a bit of push and also a bit of pull because it involves attracting customers by creating high value product, actually a high value service, because, you know, it's in a bus. Here, buses don't stop. They don't stop to wait for passengers. It goes, it moves. So customers are like, I think it's actually cheaper than getting a cab, the Rwandan version of a cab, or than using motors, which are very popular here. It's safer to use a bus because either way it saves your time, it saves your money, and it's also very safe. So I think it's both push and pull for me, but more of a push and a little bit of a pull.
Wow, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And I've just remembered a case where the experience I had in Korea on the use of buses, where they have specific lanes. So you will find sometimes there is heavy traffic, but the buses are moving because they have a designated lane. So you find those who are using their private cars, they are stuck into heavy traffic. Yeah, but the buses are just moving express, and many people now would opt to use the buses rather than using their own their own cars, buses as well as the train. So I think that transition, what I'm seeing is a transition. At certain point, it can be what push could be the dominant strategy, but that intentionality that when a customer comes in, then I need to create more value, high value, need to using either the products and services and also the experience, yeah, the experience that that customer receives, as well as the other value additions aspects that would now attract that customer to want to come back. And we've talked about the loyalty system, which a number of, especially supermarkets, are using, so that you want to continue building you're adding your points. So would prefer going to the same supermarket because you will be able to add your points, which you can redeem. I've seen Sylvanus, you're saying for me, example of push transport companies, and I think we have talked about that. And then banking and pool banking, that is transport companies and banking. And then pool, examples you have given is heavy duty and utility companies. That's true. Utility companies, we need to use the service. So whether they advertise or not, we need to use electricity, we need to use water. It's part of our lives. So we find as taking care of or making the necessary, fulfilling the necessary requirements so that we continue to utilize those services. How about insurance companies? Where would we place insurance companies? Construction companies as well as pool at Virginia. How about insurance, even if we don't classify them? Oh, wow. Susan, you have just brought it out. Yeah. Insurance companies. Insurance company. Okay, they really push their products. That's what Susan you're saying. Insurance, pool. I think the element of both again comes in here. But I agree with Susan. There's sort of a lot of push, and I don't know what sometimes contributes to this, because these are products that would really need to use. The surprising part is the statistics around insurance. Yeah, the penetration of insurance in Kenya is less than, it's about 3%. Globally, it's about 7%. Yeah, and that really speaks a lot about this industry. There is something about this industry that really needs to be unpacked. Because if you're talking about only 3% of the population, the Kenyan population are using insurance, that's a very loud message. And not just now in the Kenyan context, look at it globally, talking about 7%. So I think there is still a lot of pull, a lot of push. But why is the transition? What could what do we need for these companies now to gradually continue to transition to the pull strategy? So both of them, but again, the elements of push could be quite dominant. Susan, you're saying, I think for pull, Apple products will be more categorized here, since sometimes they pre-sell products even before launch. That's also a very good example of pull. Yeah. Okay, so let's also look at ourselves. As Virginia shared her example, GLN, we are also tending now to both are applying push and pull. But when a customer comes in, we try to see how does that customer become our channel, because our growth is heavily dependent on the referral system. And the referral system can only happen when maybe the customer was satisfied. I feel the product served my purpose, and I have no problem referring this product to someone else because of maybe of the benefits, of the value, of the level of satisfaction. So we have seen this really being a key strategy that we as we use the push, yeah, to be able to bring someone in, then that person now becomes our pull strategy. Yeah, the person is able to bring some more leaders into the programs. Nowadays, you even have some leaders who are already waiting for classes to start. Maybe they want to enroll now for entrepreneurship, and already we have all the days booked, and we feel we need to hold a little bit. Then we can start a special class for them. So that also is an indication that people are now starting to pull this. Yeah. So just to reflect on this, see how we apply both, but majorly how do we ensure that we build mostly on the pull for the sake of sustainability. Okay, so allow me to move to the marketing mix. This is the 4 P's of marketing. Maybe some of us have gone through this, so I may not spend so much time on this. Yeah, so the 4 P's of marketing. Yeah, so this summarizes the 4 basic pillars of any marketing strategy. So as we enhance our marketing strategies, as we develop one, in case maybe you need to now keenly refine to come up with one, then the 4 P's are important, and they're applicable to any type of company, even if it's a startup. Yeah. So what are these for? So we're talking about product, and product, we are looking at the brand. We are also looking at the services. We are looking at the packaging, the price. We are looking at the offer price. We are looking at probably appropriate pricing framework. Yeah. Then on the place, we are talking about maybe the channel. We're talking about distribution. We're talking about the market. We're also talking about maybe the location. Yeah. Nowadays, we are talking about physical location or virtual location. Then promotion, how do we advertise? How do we promote the product in terms of publicity? So any product or any company or any marketing strategy needs to factor this into consideration. So just to look a little bit deeper on this, on the product, we are looking at maybe variety. Variety here could include maybe even color, sizes. They are depending with what kind of products are we offering. Quality, design and brand, packaging and features. We're also talking about convenience of use, handling, and delivery. So for GLN, we have continued to add into our products. When we started, we had one product, only one training, the Global Leadership Network Masterclass or the Purpose-Centered Leader. But now we have strategic leadership, we have entrepreneurship, we have crisis leadership, we have the impact leader, and we are also working on the communication and public speaking and branding package. We have the emerging leader. So the products have continued to grow with the time based on the need and based also on the feedback that we continue to receive. So then on list price, we have the price list, we have discounts given, we have terms and means of payment, criteria in granting credit, cost versus benefit compared to the market. So the pricing model is key when it comes to our marketing strategy. Then place, physical, online channels, business, rich area. This is the convenience maybe of location, including the online platforms. Which one is more convenient for the target customers? Distribution and transport of goods, among other. So for GLN, majorly on our channel is online, but also some of the products we are offering them on physical. So I'm just using this as an example to relate with the 4 Ps. Then we have place. But earlier there we talked about promotion. So the 4 Ps, majorly this promotion is key here, but this model has an element of place. We missed out. I think there's just a mix up here, but the other one is promotion. So publicity. Okay, so disclosure, advertising, customer attraction and targeting, visual identity of products and categories, all that falls under promotion. Okay, so as I indicated, this is just to whet our appetite into this conversation on marketing strategy. And as we designed this, we thought, let's just focus on this 4 as the basics, the foundational concepts. Then from there, we are able now to build around this. But we'll link this with the next session, which is branding, business branding and strategy. Maybe I can connect the two. Then at the end, we can be able to share our reflection. Unless maybe there is someone who has a comment on what I've shared on the 4 Ps. Okay, then we can transition. To the next. I hope my audio is okay. I've seen my network is fluctuating. Maybe I could just confirm if I'm still clear.
You are very clear.
Okay.
You are very clear.
Okay, thank you, Mary.
Yes.
Okay, so let's connect the dot. Business branding strategy. Again, this one will just set foundational concepts. Then we can build more on this. We are working on a package that was recommended by our leaders during the last graduation. When we were going through the project presentations in the last graduation, because in the second level, the Global Leadership Network Masterclass, there is a component on project proposal and presentation. So when the leaders were presenting, something came up on public speaking. It was recommended, it came up in the discussions, and we thought we need to do something on that. So we are working on a package, communication, public speaking, and branding as an additional product that you're going to offer as GLN. And that product will also include some element of branding, but we look at it from personal branding perspective. Yeah. So business branding strategy. When you look at these logos here, there are companies that we can recognize them, not by name, but by their logos. Yeah. By looking at a logo, we can tell which company is this. And let me highlight a number of them, and then I just want you to help me to identify which one they are. Let me use red and see if it comes out well. Yeah. Can you see where I've circled with red? Which company is that? Can you identify that company? I hope my red is clear. Maybe I can start by confirming. You can see where I'm marking with red.
Well, I can only see, I can see Philips, which is blue.
Okay. And where I've marked in red?
In red. Yes, I can see.
You
The
can see.
CMNs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can we tell which company is that?
Not really.
Okay. Maybe I've picked one that may not maybe be common to all of us. Okay. Let me mark another one at the very top. At the very top, I've marked one that I'm sure maybe we can identify quite easily. You can see at the top, the one that I've marked.
Yes.
Yeah. That one we can tell which company it is.
Is it the Honda?
The Honda up on top of
Or
Honda.
IBM?
On top
IBM.
of. Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, I can see Sylvanus. You're saying Apple. That's true, but it's not written Apple. But we can tell because of the logo, because of their branding. Yeah. So if I pick another one down, I'm trying to pick the ones that are a bit common down there. So you've seen the one that I've circled. Are we able to tell which one that one is? Just using this so that we can, yeah, so that is Shell. Let me pick the last one. Again, still down. So down, I've picked another one down. Okay, yeah, thank you, Sylvanus. Yeah, company, that is Shell Fuel Company. How about the last one that I've picked? Yeah, KFC. So we can tell these companies just by their logo, and this is part of what we are looking at in terms of business branding strategy. Yeah, so when there's that consistency in terms of certain branding elements that we're going to look at, then our visibility becomes very clear out there. We are able to build our visibility Yeah. So, and that's why you see companies trying to ensure that they have products and the logo, they have a logo consistently, so that if I look at this logo, I can tell this is GLN, even without the name. Yeah. So, we're saying branding is a process of creating a strong, positive perception of a company and the products or services in the customer's mind, yeah, by combining some elements. And one of the elements is what I've highlighted, like the logo, the design, the mission statement, and consistent theme, including color, yeah, throughout all marketing communication. Yeah, so effective branding, it must be strategic, yeah, while marketing, we're saying, is tactical. Yeah, so branding is more strategic and marketing is more tactical. So one is more broader, like strategy. We're looking at changing brand perception. We're looking at long-term issues, diversifying revenue. Yeah. But tactics, we are looking at putting our product on billboards. That can be maybe an example, launching a new product, building landing pages for each product. Yeah, so marketing strategy versus tactics. So we're saying strategy is the high level battle plan for guiding marketing tactics. And tactics are more specific into actions that will help us to execute the marketing strategy. So branding is more strategic, is more long term. And that's why we consistently give that same message that will eventually lead into certain tactics that the customers can be able to relate with. Okay. So we're also saying branding entails clearly defining a brand promise. What are we promising as a company or as an entity? A branding strategy is geared towards enabling a business to achieve its objectives and goal. The branding strategy identifies what our business represents and, very important, competitive advantage or position and the most effective way to reach our target market. So the brand promise could contain issues to do with the vision, the mission, yeah, and also sometimes they also the personality, that a brand persona, yeah, and also the principle. So the brand promise is the unique, enduring idea behind a brand's purpose. Yeah, so the foundation of value the brand commits to deliver to its customer, and you can connect to the value proposition that we looked at earlier. Yeah, and then the vision, the formal statement of why we do what we do, the long-term view, and then the mission focuses majorly on how we are able to achieve that. And then we have principles, which are also core values, the belief systems that guides our decisions. And then on the other side, we have a brand positioning. Yeah, brand positioning, the extension of the brand promise to an audience through what we are offering. Yeah, so this is part of the brand elements. Yeah, a visual explanation of our promise to our customers. Okay, so effective branding should be consistent. Yeah, so across all the platforms that we're using, the message should also sometimes be consistent with the stories. Stories are also very good when you are in the marketing strategy, a journey of our success, or our journey of impact, the imagery, stories told by image, and marketing messages And this could result to consistent brand across all platforms so that people can easily be able to identify. So we also need to think about the brand touch points wheel, or the brand touch points. And the touch points here includes maybe the advertising. They include they are also online platforms that becomes the brand touch points for the customer. The customer services are part of the branch. So a branch touch point we are saying is a visual representation of the various touch points at which a brand interact with customers. So those whatever point we interact with the customers, then that becomes our touch point. It can be physical, it can be online, it can be experiential channels such as advertising, packaging, customer service, website, social media. All those are brand touch points. Yeah. So in our communication, in the branding strategy, then the touch points needs to come out clear. So what are the benefits of branding? One, we are saying strong customer loyalty, be able to build customer loyalty. I know this goes beyond, there are a lot of other things that could contribute to this as well. Then higher perceived value, differentiation in the market, emotional connection to the audience are part of the benefits. We're also talking about increased recognition and credibility. And you could see we could recognize some of them. Some of the companies through their logos. Then increased customer loyalty and trust, increased sales, attraction and retention of employees, competitive differentiation. So branding requires careful planning and tactics, and it has to be aligned with products and services with customer expectation. Because we can have logos, we can have vision, but there's something beyond that. How well now do we implement that? Yeah, in a way that will relate to what we talked about last week, what customers are looking for. I believe that's really what now connects the customers to use a particular product and be able to remain loyal to that product. So I think I'll finish with that. I'll take us back to that. So these are steps, key steps in branding. One, we are saying define and understand our customers so that we can communicate to them effectively, because when we identify them, then we know what is the best channel to reach out to them, identify target customers, and focus on leveraging them. Then we also need to understand their needs, their likes, their motivation, and what attracts them. Then number two, we define our brand persona. Yeah, a fictional character that represents a brand's values, personality, and overall image. Yeah, so it also helps to humanize connection between the brand and the customers. We have seen some companies, they have a brand persona in terms of a person that represents the company or brings out the brand of the company. And that, again, we're saying create that human aspect between the product and the customers. Then crystallize the brand promise. We define the ultimate promise to customers, how products and services will make customers' lives better. This is part of the value proposition, how to deliver our promise. And then we perfect our visual assets. Our visual assets here are the elements, like the website, the fonts, the colors, the logo. All these are the visual assets that we use to be able to reach out to our customers. So research shows that having a memorable signature color will increase the chances of customers recognizing the brand by about 80%. Then we refine customer experience. So we ensure that every interaction and touch points with customers is aligned with brand promises and follows brand guidelines. So this is where now we have maybe policies that guides on that. Then give back, acknowledging and appreciating loyal customers can also help in strengthening brand image. Seeing their customers or their companies that are key on this, we find maybe at the beginning of the year, some of the companies are able to appreciate the customers. They are able to give some giveaways. Yeah, so show gratitude, maybe by running special loyalty programs or promotion or free gifts, yeah, or even discounts. Yeah. So these are the branding key elements. Already talked about them. So one is brand purpose. Yeah, brand purpose. Yeah, the company's reason for being and what it stands for aside from the usual business goals and objectives. And we looked at the golden circle, remember last week. So usually is usually to do with the customers we serve and the market niche that we are targeting. So what is our bigger picture in terms of our purpose and which has to be connected with the customer needs? Then we have the brand values, core beliefs and principles that guide how we operate, how we interact with customers, and how we also build relationships. Yeah, so it stands and defines our identity as a company and essential for creating strong brand, aligning with customer expectations and fostering loyalty. And you can see a number of examples there, maybe accountability, talking about affordability, customer service, innovation, talking about integrity, quality, among others. So again, brand values. There are people who will connect with us because of our brand values. Yeah, then we have a brand's mission and vision, which are two distinct yet somehow interconnected. The mission statement, we are saying, defines the brand's current purpose and what it does. And then the vision outlines the brand's aspirational future and what it wants to become. We have an example of Coca-Cola there. The mission, refresh the world and make a difference. Yeah, refresh the world and make a difference. And then vision, our vision is to craft the brands and choice of drinks that shape people love, to refresh them in body and spirit, and done in ways that creates a more sustainable business and a better shared future that makes a difference in people's lives, communities, and our planet. Okay, when I saw this, for me, I was more on, the vision is more inclined to a mission, based on that, because the vision gives a lot of details. We normally say a vision should be sharp and also short and also memorable. And so you can see the mission is more of like what actually should be the vision: refresh the world and make a difference. Yeah, but that's just an observation. Then the brand mission and vision statement. This is the third element. So brand vision statement, I've already explained that. Yeah, the long-term goals of the business. And then mission statement. Yeah, the brand purpose and values, the roadmap to achieving this. And there are two key aspects that make a good brand. One is the logo and also the slogan. So for GLN, we have that logo that represents us, and then we have the slogan: think global, lead local, transform the world. Okay, so these are basically the key elements when it comes to branding that we need to focus on. I said I'll go back to what we covered last week on this, because I think this has quite a lot of value in terms of attracting and retaining customers, especially on the pull aspect. Yeah, the speedy service, the options that we provide, the consistency, including in our branding, in our communication, the simplicity, and then the value for money, as well as reliability. Okay, so with that, we come to the end. We come to the end of tonight's discussion. I believe we have a few take homes, something that we can reflect on, and also look inside, see where we are as entities, and at least identify some of the areas that we can be able to work around and maybe make some improvement as part of the value addition out of these discussions. So I want to pause there and just maybe invite us in case we have a concluding comment or even a question, then we can call it a day. Could I start with Margaret? Just in case you have a comment or a question, that's okay. If you don't have, that's quite also fine.
Yes, I don't have any comment or question for now. We'll read and try to understand the session better. Thank you.
Thank you, Margaret. Margaret, when I hear about caregiver, I think that will be like an identity when we package that product and it comes out. I think that will give us a very good reference point on what we are doing in this class. Thank you for that. Mary, Sister Mary.
So what I have taken home is the branding, and I've realized that in the branding talks a lot. It talks volumes, just the way it looks like, the colors. It talks volumes about the business. That when you look at it like this, you can see a lot of things. You can really understand what the company or the business is all about through the branding. And then thinking like a customer always helps me to understand what the customer is benefiting from my business. And if there is anything that is going wrong, I'll understand it as a customer. I'll see, is it worthwhile starting or not, if I think like the customer.
Yeah, thank you, Mary. So the consistency then becomes important. We identify our elements, then we are consistent in using them so that they are embedded into our customers' interaction. So we use them in the touch points and any other area that we feel our customers will be able to interact with our branding elements. Thank you, Mary. Sylvanus, I don't know if there's something you may wish to share. Okay, I always say you are comfortable with the chat, so if there's something, you just share on the chat. Virginia. Guess you have something to share. Okay, I can see Sylvanus, you're saying.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Virginia, you can proceed.
I really appreciate the session for today, and I am still looking at the 4 Ps. They really made us a profound and very significant new meaning. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Virginia. Yeah, thank you for that. Then Sylvanus, you're saying to me, I have taken I've taken away that we should live what we brand. Yeah, live what we brand. I think that's why I came back to this slide. Yeah, so the brand should fulfill the promise we give the customers. Yeah, so the real experience is living what we promise. Yeah, that's the game changer. Yeah, and that is eventually what now climaxes our branding. Yeah, can customers be able to feel the experience of our promise to them? Okay, so I will pause there for tonight. Again, let me appreciate all of you. Thank you for according us this opportunity. And we'll invite us just to be able to take some time to work on our business canvas model. We'll share the Word version so that you can populate it. And then we'll also share the Word version of the value proposition and the example that we have looked at today so that you can be able to populate that. So thank you so much. Let's say a prayer as we wind up. God, you have given us a special moment that we have been able to reflect, learn, and also enrich one another. We pray that as we continue with these classes, you'll continue to guide us. So far, we've covered quite a lot of grounds, and we could not do this without your help. We are grateful for all that you have done, and we're grateful even for what is remaining. Give us a blessed night, even as we rest, and we commit ourselves to you, our families, our friends, and our countries. This is our prayer in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you, and have a blessed night, leaders.